Wait. Here.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Or would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or would you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah. If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Or would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or would you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah.
This is the moment for those who.
And every time we go live. Thank you very much. Hey, thank you very much. Oh, stop it. Okay. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me on the Latino Conservative Podcast. My name is Andrew Alvarez, and I am the Latino Conservative. Today is our Wednesday special. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got everything from we finally got a Speaker of the House to planes crashing in Houston, or I should say colliding. But before we get into that, I want to give a shout out to the two sponsors, 1.5 sponsors, affiliates, whatever you want to talk about. First off is Chime. Chime is what I like to call an affiliate. Let me pull that up here real quick so you can see it. Basically, if you go to the latinoconservative.com, you click on this green banner here. This is a way we can both get $100. What it is you get they call it a credit builder account. It's a credit card. It's a secure credit card that you secure with your direct deposit. And basically, coming from the car business, I know the more of a spending limit you have, the more of a credit limit you have on your credit card, the bigger your credit score gets. My credit score actually went up about 100 points when I signed up for that. So go check it out, the latinoconservative.com, and go click on that green banner. Also, for those of y'all who don't know, if you don't know, one, shame on me, because everyone should know by now. I am actually running for U.S. House of Representatives in the Houston area in Texas District 9. And you can visit the campaign at 88forcongress.com. You can also scan that QR code right there. That will take you to some links. The links where you can go and donate, where you can do a lot of things. You can donate, message me every Thursday on Andrew Alvarez TX or Andrew Alvarez for Congress. I do a question and answer every Thursday at 6:30. A question and answer session for the campaign. You can ask any question you want. Submit your questions there. You can also use that QR code to visit the website, visit the social medias, do all sorts of things like that. So let's get into the news. First off, finally, I say finally, we have a Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. It took me a long time to be able to say the word Mike Johnson. Coming from, the Houston area, I keep on wanting to say Mike Johnson. Who? Mike Jones. But, Mike Johnson, he was the, however you want to call it, vice speaker, speaker pro tem, after Kevin McCarthy got ousted. He was a temporary speaker. And finally, he came from out of nowhere, to be honest. They were looking at people like Jim Jordan, Eric Scalise, people like that, guys like that. They were looking at them for Speaker of the House, and Mike Johnson comes out of nowhere. But it was kind of a scary gig, kind of scary, because we could have very well have had a Democrat Speaker of the House. Because, and I've said this before, I said this with the last Speaker election, we undoubtedly have rhinos in Congress. Rhinos, in case you don't know, stand for Republican in name only. We undoubtedly have those at the House. And it wouldn't take much, it wouldn't take many votes to get one, and then another, and then another, and then another to switch up and vote Democrat, Hakeem Jeffries. I mean, we already saw Republicans do that before. Kevin McCarthy, heck, he was working back deals with the Democratic Party. He was working deals behind closed doors with them already. The Speaker of the House, the guy that's supposed to be the most powerful Republican, right? Actually, he's the most powerful Republican right now, or was. Before President Trump was there. Well, while President Trump was there, he was the most powerful Republican. When he's not there, the Speaker of the House was. Yet he was working behind door deals with the Democratic Party. So he got ousted. I have no doubt that if he could do that, there are plenty of other quote unquote Republicans that could do that too. So I'm glad Republicans finally got their crap together and voted in a Speaker of the House. Hopefully this will allow time for us to get something done. Now, I know we've got a long road ahead of us because we still got a Democrat Senate and a Democrat president. So we've got a long haul ahead of us. We may need to make some concessions if we want to get something done. We may need to do that. I don't know. But at the same time, we got something going on here finally. So what I'm doing right now, you'll see me looking over here towards the towards my computer every now and then. You'll see that going. Mostly because I will check the comments. In fact, feel free. Drop me a comment. Hit subscribe. Hit that like button. Let me know that you're here. I'll be going between multiple platforms to make sure that I don't miss any comments or any questions or anything like that. Feel free. Ask a question. Ask my point of view on something. But on top of that, again, I am so glad that we now have a Speaker of the House. So glad. Because if we didn't, well, that impending government shutdown that we haven't heard about in a while? Why haven't we heard about it? No, but we hear about Israel. The media is covering Israel right now because we are sending our troops out there, our men and women, to go fight somebody else's battle. Now, I understand. I totally get it. Israel is our ally, and I appreciate that. I stand with Israel. I'm full wholeheartedly believe that that land was given to Jewish people before it was given to the Palestinians. That's who's fighting for Gaza, is the Palestinian people. Palestine is short for Philistines. Just in case you didn't know, Philistines, was where Goliath came from. David, the guy that, the little David guy, who with the slingshot. Toma. But we don't hear about that, do we? All we hear from the media is what they want us to hear. They want us to hear Israel. They want us to hear Palestine. They want us to hear from the river to the sea. They want us to hear all of that anti-Semitic BS. That's what I call this.
Budo cheese man.
But we finally have a Speaker of the House. We can get to work. Because if we didn't, government shutdown would happen. Now we can start working on a budget. Because that is the sole most important job of the U.S. House of Representatives. That's the power of the purse string. Basically, Congress is like city council for the country. City council does budgeting. And yes, they will pass ordinances if they need to. But the main job that they are not getting done is doing the budget. And it doesn't have to be one huge omnibus bill. A representative should not be forced to cast one vote and choose to fund the military and abortion in that same vote. They should not have to do that. That's why the single item spending bills are such a big thing right now. Plus, when that happens, let's say one district is very pro-abortion, and if they are, that is their prerogative. They can do that. But let's say that representative for that district votes to fund an abortion clinic. But that same bill cuts funding for the military. Someone who is opposing him could very well say, if this representative votes for that bill, someone could very well say, Representative A votes to cut funding to the military. Because, you have to make two choices with one vote. That's not right. But that's what these single item spending bills are. It's just about getting one vote to cover multiple items. The new Green Deal, all in one vote. At the same time, you're funding education, you're funding the military, you're funding the police, you're funding border security, but you have to fund LGBTQIA plus minus divided by sign studies in Pakistan. So drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about that here on TikTok. Don't forget, tap that screen on TikTok. You're here on TikTok. Drop that screen, tap that screen. Give me some likes. Send some roses over too if you'd like to as well. So next topic. Let's see what we got on the next topic list here. We have, I've got a lot of screens open, so please bear with me. Oh, here's a good one. From Newsmax. Hamas fighter found with poor man's cocaine during his attack. So, the gist of this one is there was a Hamas fighter, that was found with synthetic cocaine. What does that tell you? One, they're druggies. Two, the United States isn't the only country that has drug problems. And I think we have a huge drug problem. But I'm at a loss for words. Their military, if the Hamas military, because that's what they are, they're a military terrorist group. If they are taking synthetic drugs, that means that they're getting all hyped up and just getting ready to do whatever. These guys, they don't have any. They're not scared to die. They're not, and it's a scary thought. That they live with that. That is one of their guiding principles. Is they are prepared to. They want to, and they're taking this extra synthetic stuff to kind of comfort their minds, because that is how they get into their heaven. Of course, I believe that they're not going to go to heaven if that's what they think, if that's what they believe in. I'm not going to condemn them right away. That's not my position by all means. That's not my spot to do that, but I just don't think they are. They have a different place that they're going. Now, I am not a judger of men. I am a judger of sin, though. Just get that right. Get that right. I'm not a judger of men. I do judge the sin. And if they're sinning this way, that sin has been said to not provide a way to heaven. So, my prayers go out to Hamas as well, because I really do hope that they see the light. At least one of them sees the light, sees Christ as our Savior, and finds his way to Christ. Because we all know that without Christ, we're all damned. Christ redeemed us with his sacrifice. So I hope that at least one of them gets to enjoy the same salvation that I am hoping to enjoy as well. But these guys, they're now taking synthetic drugs and using that to fuel their rage, to kill innocent women, children, babies. They're doing that. I mean, to me, in a way, that says that this one gentleman, this one person specifically, needed a little bit extra because maybe he had just that little bit of a moral dilemma in him, knowing that what he was doing was wrong. So he had to get that synthetic, that artificial dopamine hit to be able to do that. I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you right off. So, but it is my hope and my prayer that eventually some of them, one of them even, just one, if just one can come to find Christ, that would be good. That would be a good thing. Heck, it is my hope and prayer that the Jewish come to find Christ as well. That's a whole different topic, though. Hey, again, guys, don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, sign up for alerts so you know every time I go live here on TikTok. Tap that screen. Tap that screen. Shoot some likes over here. Shoot some likes over here. I haven't gone live very much on TikTok, but heck, show me some love there. And if you want to ask a question, feel free. Ask a question. Ask a question. So, I'm here to answer your questions and let me know what you're thinking. Let me switch the platforms over real quick so I can see if there's any questions here. And I don't see any right off, so I was talking to a friend about Mike Johnson. And I had a hard time with Mike Johnson. I really did. Every time I said his name, and mind you, it was only today that I really tried to say his name out loud. I've been trying to, I've said it, in thoughts before, as he was the temporary speaker. But today, every time I heard his name, I kept wanting to go, Mike Johnson. Who? Mike Jones. If you know what that means, you know. Okay, so also for those of y'all who didn't know, up until about January, I would travel the country for work. Literally 1 week I was in Florida, Cocoa Beach, Florida. The next week I was in Seattle, Washington. Here's a story. Oops. Let me get back to the screen I need to get on. Okay, here we go. Houston Airport closed when a private jet took off without permission and ended up colliding with another jet. Here's that story there. There's a picture of the jet. Now, looking at this jet, thank goodness it is on the ground. Thank goodness there's no major damage. Looks like both wings are still there. Looks like there's no cracks, no body damage or anything like that, but it still collided. Now, there may be some that I don't see. Because, for those of y'all who don't know, as you can tell on the screen, if you can't tell on TikTok right here, but those of you who can't tell on the screen, I'm a little visually impaired right now due to some medication I'm taking. No biggie. It'll clear up. God willing and the creek don't rise. It'll clear up. But the point is, this jet and another jet collided on the tarmac. Wow. I'm all for taking initiative, having a sense of urgency, go fast, do what you need to do to get the job done quick. But at the same time, I believe in doing it safely and follow the rules. I am the guy, I will admit, I drive the speed limit. When I do drive, I drive the speed limit. If the speed limit is 75, I will drive 75. I won't drive in the far left lane. Not me. Not me. I'll let other people do that so they can go fast. I'll drive one or two over from the right because I'm not the slow poke out there by any means for the most part. But for the most part, I drive the speed limit just because I like to follow the rules. I like to go when I'm supposed to go. And I do make it a point, though, to have a sense of urgency. I leave with plenty of time to make sure I get where I'm supposed to go on time. But this cat here, I mean, how can you not ask for clearance to leave at an airport? That is like fly school 101, especially at an airport where there's a tower. Now I get it. Some local municipal airports don't have towers. You got to kind of leave with the code of honor, with the gentleman's agreement. You have to do your line of sight type navigation where you look and see if there's somebody out there. Now, if this person collided with another jet on the tarmac, he wasn't paying attention. That happened right here in Houston. CNN reported on it. That happened on Tuesday. CNN reported it. So we didn't hear much about it in Houston, actually. That's kind of funny. I didn't even hear about it myself till today when I was looking up Houston news. Go figure, though. My thoughts would have been they would have pushed that out there to try to cover up something else, but you know how that is. The media likes to cover something and not cover other things, or put something out there to cover, as in cover with a blanket, another story. But I digress. So, as I was looking at that, I had another story that I pulled up. Magically, it went away. And I'm trying to find it again. Okay. So this next one, I will warn you. There's some strong language in here. Now, I know myself, I have slipped up every now and then. I've said a cuss word or two. This person, I'm not going to say lady, because she's not. She is not a lady. A lady does not talk like this. This abuse, bullying, I mean, hell, if my boss talked to me like that, even over the phone, we'd have a little bit of a problem here. There's this thing called the woodshed that we'd have to go behind. And the bosses I've had, I might have, taken a few licks myself, but at the end of the day, somebody is going to pay to talk to me like that. I don't care who you are. If you are the president of the United States and you talk to me like that, we have a problem. If you are anybody, if the Pope talks to me like that, and I'm not Catholic, if the Pope talks to me like this, we have a problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't even want to say representative, but Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee and Houston mayoral candidate Sheila Jackson Lee.
That you took a piece of paper from that woman regarding something that was owned by Duncan Tell. Where is it? What date was it?
All from Jerome took it upstairs. I'd have to call him. He took it up when I switched out the paper. I'll call him.
I don't want you to do a goddamn thing. I want you to have a fucking brain. I want you to have read it. I want you to say, Congresswoman, it was such and such date. That's what I want. That's the kind of staff that I want to have. So some stupid other motherfucker did it, and I don't have the information. Nobody sent me the information. I need to ensure my schedule. And, if Boo Boo did it, shit ass did it, fuckface did it. And nobody knows a goddamn thing in my office. Okay? Nothing. I gave it to you. Your job was to get it on the calendar, imprint it in your brain, or send me the information back saying, Congresswoman, I made sure that the Ovi Duncan Tell event that you gave me for so-and-so date at 7 is on the fucking calendar. Not to, Jerome has it. Okay? So when I called Jerome, he don't be sitting up there like a fat-ass, stupid idiot talking about what the fuck he doesn't know. Okay? Both of y'all are a fucking F. It's the worst shit that I could have ever had put together. Two goddamn big-ass children. Fucking idiots. Serve no goddamn purpose. Ain't managing nobody. Nobody's respecting them. Nobody gives a shit about what you're doing. And you ain't doing shit. And this is an example of it. I gave it to Jerome. This is not child's work. Okay?
So again, sorry about that language there, but I wanted to make sure that everyone heard the severity of that. I'm sorry you couldn't hear that on TikTok, but that's where I found it. So if you scroll around somewhere, you're going to find that in there somewhere. But still, she is absolutely berating, calling them names, insulting them. Like I said, I don't care who you are. If anybody were to talk to me like that, and practically anybody else from where I grew up, we're going to have some problems. I would never strike a woman unless they strike me first. That's a different story, but I would never strike a woman. But I will say this. I've got sisters. If anybody that's a woman were to talk to me like that and they found out, oh my goodness, you got to put them earrings on. Put them earrings on. Get that chola look. Put them chanclas on, and we going to fight. And then everybody's just going to start, watching pay-per-view. It's going to be a battle out there. You don't do that. You don't talk to people like that. How can you have somebody respect you if you don't respect them like that? How can you have a country respect you when you talk like that? How can you have the city of Houston, Texas respect you? We are all better than that. Sheila Jackson Lee, I totally condemn that language that you use. I totally condemn the words that you used to your staff that you hired. You selected them. Remember that. You selected them. If you want to talk to your staff like that, you don't deserve that spot. You need to be fired. You don't need to be elected as mayor of Houston either. You need to go away. Retire. You're a millionaire now. You're a millionaire on the backs of all of the Houstonians in your district. They made you a millionaire. These hardworking men and women paid their taxes so you can be a millionaire now. And you're going to treat them like that? How dare you? Shame on you. That person that you were talking to like that probably is somebody that contributed to your fortune. I don't care what level you're on. I don't. That is absurd language. Very, very, very absurd language, and you do not deserve to hold office. There is this term called statesmanship. I totally remember the whole Democrat Party totally blown a fuse over something Donald Trump said decades ago in a gym locker room. Said one word. He said one word. One word. You called this guy and the other person just something that, I've been called that before too, and I know what it feels like to be called that. And we had a problem when I was called that. I wouldn't be surprised if their resignations were on your desk first thing in the morning, or even if they even gave you a resignation, I wouldn't even give you the respect to get a resignation. I would just ghost you. Screw you. You don't deserve my time. You don't deserve my respect anymore. There are tons of jobs out there. I mean, heck, right? Bidenomics is creating jobs, right? You're not that special. You've been in that spot for about 20 years as well. There's plenty of others out there. Heck, tell you what, to those staffers, I don't know your names. Your names aren't published. But to those staffers that Sheila Jackson Lee is berating, is calling all of these names, tell you what, I'll make an agreement with you. Reach out to me, Andrew at aaforcongress.com. Find some way to show me that you work for Sheila Jackson Lee. Come help with my campaign. Come help with my campaign. And if and when I win, I will make you one of my staffers. So, Andrew at aaforcongress.com. Go hit me up. Let me know. Let's get Sheila Jackson Lee out of office. She doesn't deserve it anymore. I don't think that she ever deserved it, but she does not deserve the honor of representing the people of Houston, Texas. So, hey guys, again, thank you for joining me. For those of y'all who joined me, tap that screen there on TikTok a few more times. Let me get a few more likes there. If you want to visit the podcast website, go to the LatinoConservative.com. Easy, the LatinoConservative.com. Click that green banner. If you don't have time already, we can both get $100. If you want to help support the campaign, it is real easy to do that as well. aaforcongress.com, or let me get this QR code up real quick. So if you're watching this on YouTube on a PC or something to that extent, and you can scan that QR code right there, it will take you to my links in bio page provided by Bitly, and you'll find a way to go donate there. In fact, if you don't have any of those right now, if you can't do that, in the description, there's a place to go visit my campaign site to donate to the campaign, which to run for Congress, it isn't cheap. You know, I've got this part down. I've got this part down. I can do the digital part. I know what needs to happen campaign-wise. We need to make sure that we have the funds to do it. Be flat out honest. Go visit the donation site on there. I need help. We all need help to make sure that we get rid of this 20-year incumbent in Texas District 9. His name is Al Green, and he hasn't done anything. He sat there and collected a paycheck, and he too has also become a millionaire on our backs. Scan this QR code. Go to aaforcongress.com. There's some donate buttons there. I really appreciate everybody that has listened in, even if you were just listening in the background. I really do appreciate that. And don't forget, tomorrow on Thursdays, I go live on my Andrew Alvarez for Congress Facebook page and YouTube channel. Go check it out. Those are more specific question and answers for my candidacy. I'll do a small session on some political commentary. Then I'll take questions and answers. You can submit questions through my website or through that Bitly link that you have there, or you can ask them in the live. However you feel like doing, by all means, feel free to do that. Let me check one more time, see if there's any questions that I didn't have answered before I let everybody go. And I don't see any write-off, so let's see. I believe we are good. Okay, so again, everybody, thank you for joining. We'll see you tomorrow at Andrew Alvarez TX, or Andrew Alvarez for Congress on the Facebook page. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank y'all.
Here.
Hey, this is Andrew Alvarez. I am your candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives in Texas, District 9. Visit the website at aaforcongress.com or look us up on the socials at Andrew Alvarez TX. And remember, I am your voice at the Capitol.